This section is on inverse trigonometric functions. The essential question for this unit is, what is the definition of inverse trigonometric functions and how do you evaluate and use them? We can write inverse trig functions, specifically for sine, as either y equals arc sine x or y equals sine to the minus 1 exponent x. Both of these mean the same thing. They're referring to inverse sine functions. Another way of looking at this is, for y equals arc sine x, what we are really saying is that the arc sine of x is the angle whose sine is x. So y is the angle whose sine is x. Similarly, for y equals inverse sine of x, which is the same thing, we're saying the inverse sine of x is the angle whose sine is x, or y is equal to the angle whose sine is x. So let's look at an example. Let's say I'm asked to find the exact value of arc sine 1/2. So let's say we've got a right triangle here, and this has an angle, and the side opposite it is 1, and the hypotenuse is 2, because that's basically what we're saying here. We're saying that I am looking for the angle whose sine is 1/2. All right, so if I think about this, basically what I've got here is a special right triangle, and if the side opposite is 1, the hypotenuse is 2, we can figure out that the third side here is going to be the square root of 3, and the angle in question right now is going to be 30 degrees. So therefore, arc sine 1/2 is equal to 30 degrees. Now similarly, if I said find the exact value of arc sine square root of 3/2, my answer would be 60 degrees, because in this case we would be talking about this angle up here, which would be 60 degrees. So arc sine square root of 3/2 is 60, or looking at it the other way, inverse sine square root of 3/2 is 60. So now here you can see the definitions, the actual formal definitions of arc sine x, arc cosine x, and arc tangent x, with the various domains and ranges for each of these. So these are the formal definitions that you need to remember when talking about inverse trig functions. Lastly, we have the inverse properties of trigonometric functions. And these are shown on the screen right now in terms that the sine of the arc sine of x is simply equal to x, same for cosine, same for tangent. Or similarly, arc sine of the sine of y is equal to y. So if you run into these are the properties that you can make the appropriate changes for.